I'm basically a growth strategist. I'm an ex-consultant and I have over 15 years of corporate experience.
Hi, so I'm from a design background. I did my graduation in the fashion design, and over the years, I have moved a little bit towards art direction. So right now, I work with a lot of brands on the side as well to help them create a unique identity. So I work as an art director, a creative director, and now we have a little brand that we are starting, which is Earthly with Isha. Earthly is sort of our way to do it, where it's an e-commerce lifestyle platform, which brings in brands which are all made with the natural, all fibers and fabrics and the material, but aim is also to bring this into the mainstream. So I think that's our aim.
Yeah, I think about Earthly, if we just try to put it in a simple way. Most ethical products are either considered not affordable, it's hard to find, they are not easily available, and also they're considered not to be effective, not beautiful. So from us, what we wanted to do is increase the desirability as well as the affordability and accessibility of such kind of products.
Yeah. I think I would like to start with that we didn't start the brand to make a business out of it, first of all. The aim to start Earthly was starting from an intent to create a space or to create a lifestyle that we would like to be a part of as well. So our aim was not to create something that would work for the consumer or the market. So our intent was to create a space where we would also like to be in. So I think that was the first intent. And then slowly we spoke, we wrote down what we wanted, we made mood boards, we talked about what it should have as a scope of work.
Yeah.
And it was a bit hard in the starting because we both have our day jobs as well and we both work. But all the passion we had, we slowly took time. So right now we don't have any of our investors right now. So we plan to first create a little bit of the brand by ourselves. So we invest in this brand.
Yeah.
So it's a bit tough because it's costly, but we want to take the right steps and take our own time to create the right ethos and the right framework and foundation work for Earthly brand.
Yeah, I mean, for us, I think the biggest to start was that I think the whole thought process of Earthly and what the brand stood for, the brand identity, has been simmering inside for a very long time. So when that clicked, the plan, the brand deck, the business plan, all of that was relatively easy for us to do. However, the harder part in the initial stages was all the commercial license and the technicalities and the operational things, because we both come from a corporate background. So, that has given us a lot of learnings, and there is still a very, very long way to go.
We were quite clear that the brand name has to be very simple and self-explanatory. So as you know, the ethos and the base of the brand is that we want to do the curation of products which are all natural. So cotton, hemp, silk, and the linen. So our aim was to create a brand name that would talk about what's inside of the brand. So all of these things which are all natural comes from the earth. So off the earth, from the earth. And hence we thought that, the best, simplest and strong, easy name is Earthly, off the earth.
Yeah. We did a lot of research about fabrics to understand the impact of different fabrics have on environment. I think we're all very knowledgeable about what we eat. I think there's so much awareness, but what we wear, nobody really thinks about it. So for us also, it was a discovery. It was a journey where we started researching fabrics, and it was quite mind-boggling, the difference that we can have just by using more natural fabric versus synthetic fabric. Synthetic fabrics like a polyester, nylon, which is almost 65% of what's available today, will never biodegrade. If you put it in a landfill, it will pollute the water, groundwater. If you burn it, it's carbon emission. even a cotton, which has a so-called bad rep because of the amount of water it consumes as a crop, even that will biodegrade in 5 months. So I mean, just the difference, the sheer amount of, it's, for us, it is a no-brainer why natural fabrics are so critical. Like, it's better for you, it's better for your skin, it's better for hypoallergenic, moisture wicking, odorless, easy for, it gets softer with time, especially linen. It's highly durable. It's a fabric loved from ancient times, worn even by kings and, peasants who used to toil all day. So these are fabrics which are literally gifts of the earth, and all of them will biodegrade within a year. And at the same time, if you think about their emission, even a fabric like cotton, which we say, oh, it's not so good, its carbon emission is 10x lower than the carbon emission of a polyester, which is nothing but a, melted plastic bag, literally. So the sheer amount of difference, between using synthetic and natural fabric, it just seemed for us like a complete no-brainer why the brand should be based on natural fabrics. And the journey in terms of, who designed. So Palak's the designer. He's the aesthetic genius behind the brand. My role is purely, since also my background is purely commercial and operational. Finding the right suppliers. That has been a big challenge also due to the pandemic. It's not like we can travel and, find the right supplies, because for us, it's super critical that we experience the supplier. We are as transparent as we are possible with our supply chain. So for us, it's very critical that the supply chain is well paid, fairly treated, ethical as it can be. So all of that part is my responsibility. And Palak,
I look into the design, so I think she quite nicely explained why we chose the fabric, right? On the style side of it, or the design side of it, we also had a talk about this, and I had and I spoke about this to a lot of my friends. Now, if you look into the market for the linen clothes, right, it has a stereotype of being a resort wear, and mostly you think of whites and the beiges and blues, right? So it's a very set sort of a way, and it's not a mainstream fabric that you would buy. So linen was something that was my aim to bring a little bit into the mainstream. So bring a little bit more style, but at the same time create cuts and create styles which can be worn by all age groups. So if you really see on our website, we have few styles right now, and all of those styles can be worn by somebody who's very young in their 20s to somebody who's in their 60s. So this is also one part of inclusivity in the design, which we wanted, that we are not very like, it's fast fashion, this is for young people. We want to create timeless like the pieces. So pieces that can last longer, but they don't have to be so boring. So that was the aim. And if you can see also, we try to break the norm of the white, beige and blue linen. We have introduced the colors which are quite new and unique. We have like a dusted rose pink. We have the olive green wrap, which is doing quite well. So our pure aim is to bring the linen, which is a natural fabric, which is looked on as a specific time wear, to bring into a daily wear. We don't want to create a lot of styles very frequently. Like if you know that the fashion brands, they used to be a fall, winter and the spring, summer, but now they're doing 16 collections a year, right? So that is a very fast like frequency. We are trying to not do that. We are like, that's why our styles are timeless. We want to create styles that you can wear for longer, maybe up to 2 years or 3 years, and that can still be in a classic way applied to all moods and all locations to wear. So our try is to create the brand that is not fad, it's not fast fashion, it's actually slow fashion. Slow fashion because you buy high quality, you buy the natural stuff, but all at the same time you use it, it's nice for your skin, and and it gets nicer with time. So these are all small steps from Earthly side to make this small contribution towards not having fast fashion. On consumer side, what we can really hope, and we can do it as well, is to try to really learn more about it and have the education, because I mean, we all think, right, yeah, it's like a trend, but how do I care? But we also have to read a little bit and see that every purchase you make, which is a cheap t-shirt or a cheap cloth, has a larger impact somewhere. So I think it's on both sides. It's on the manufacturing side, brand side, purchasing side, supplying side, and the consumer side. So it's a whole thing. So the sustainability is a large topic, and I think it should be dealt with from all angles.
For me personally, most critical is to have a very clear why, a very clear what your brand is standing for. A business plan is critical. I mean, spend that time to do it. And again, there is this quote by Mike Tyson which says that, everyone has a plan till you get punched in the face. So be adaptable, because you will get punched in the face and you will have to change that plan. But so long as your why is clear, you always come back to your true path. So
exactly. I think the most important thing that I would like to share from whoever starts a new thing is to have a clear intent. So she said about the why, right? Because like I said, we did not start the brand in order to have a business. That was not the vision. The why was very clear. So your intent on why you should do like something has to be first. How do you do it, and what steps you need to take is the secondary thing. But the most important thing which I would like to kind of have shared with all of the brand startups is to have a very clear intent on why they want to start a business and how does it help us in like a larger frame.
I mean, for me, I really appreciate what you guys are doing. I think in today's world, it's very important that we all learn from each other. I think one of the biggest things for me when I left my job, was that fact that I realized how much transformation has happened out there in the world and how left out I was, because, I was probably too much into my everyday. So I think for me, something like a Power SME is a great platform which allows everyone to learn. It gives it also allows, smaller brands to have a showcase, talk about themselves. It allows people to interact with each other. Like since, you started, I have watched some of the videos you guys put out, and it's always insightful to hear, because we don't have these platforms enough, especially in the region.
Yeah.
So I think you guys are doing a fab job.
Yeah, I think it's a great thing, and we're so happy that you also, we have a chance to also speak to you, because I think platforms like yours, the Power SMEs, they create sort of a platform to have a dialogue, right? And to have an intentful like sort of dialogue. And it's not a place, because most of the spaces are kind of booked by big brands, big businesses. But these are the platforms which create a value for the new age and the one small idea that can become big. So I think it's a great support system.